That's it. I'm going fishing.
Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Waz Reviews. The Return of the King, Rocky III, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Sometimes, the best of a trilogy is the conclusion, and in the Real Fishing series, the best was yet to come with Real Fishing 3. Listen, I get it. Fishing games sound boring, and you've all heard me drone on and on about them lately. And 2 of those 3 games were also in the Real Fishing series. But I mean it when I say this. Real Fishing 3 might be the best fishing game I've ever played. Now don't get me wrong, I also enjoyed the other fishing games that I've played. River King: A Wonderful Journey had some great RPG elements, Real Fishing 1 was calming and peaceful, and Real Fishing 2 took me to strange, exotic locations. But Real Fishing 3 is something special, and it has a depth that the other 2 games in the trilogy didn't quite have. Remember when I talked about how Real Fishing 2 didn't have a plot? I mean, it's fine. It's not like I was expecting a deep story from Real Fishing of all games, but I like a loose story to hold everything together. Man, could you imagine a fishing game with a super deep story? Like, you just wanted to kill a couple of hours fishing in a virtual world, and you come away with it thinking, wow, that actually changed my life. Well, guess what? Real Fishing 3 does indeed have a plot, and it's thoroughly wholesome. I mean, it's not exactly life-changing, but it's a sweet story of childhood memories and the adventures of 3 best friends. I mean, look at the Japanese cover art. Pure childhood adventures. Hey, why didn't we get that cover art? I mean, don't get me wrong, the US cover art is fine, but look what we could have gotten! Once again, let's pick up our rods and tackle and prepare for another fishing adventure in Real Fishing 3.
Fishing! Fishing!
But before I go further, thanks for checking out my video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more of my Star Trek, video game, and other miscellaneous content. Keep those hailing frequencies open on the other social media sites, and a big thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel. If you'd like to buy me a cup of tea and support my work, consider joining up on my channel. Be great to have you aboard. Somewhere in the tranquility of nature, among the rivers and lakes, lies a cabin called the Aqua Lodge, which comes with a letter on the desk from your childhood friend. Let's see, since you're reading this letter, I'm assuming you've accepted my request.
Well, duh.
The Aqua Lodge actually belongs to our childhood friend whose name is never actually mentioned in the game. We're going to be looking after the place for him while he finishes up some business before he can join us. Because we're apparently a workaholic guy from the city, so we need to slow down from the hectic lifestyle. Gee, I wonder if the same people who made this game made Harvest Moon as well. But in the meantime, our friend is going to write us letters and all we have to do is fish. But what's this? It's a dog! I love dogs! And good lord, what is going on with his chest? Guys, I'm pretty sure dogs don't breathe like that. Our friend apparently knew about the dog, and he's going to accompany us on all our fishing adventures. In reality, he just brings in the mail. Decide the dog's name. Junior?
Like Indiana.
We named the dog Junior.
Well, I'm naming him Ollie, after one of my childhood dogs. Also, it's what I tend to name all my dogs in these kinds of games. But it's more than a little strange that my friend also has been calling him Ollie. I guess we're on the same wavelength. Either that or you bugged the Aqua Lodge.
I hope you don't have one of these little bugs hidden in my quarters.
Should I?
By the way, if you haven't had a chance to look around, here are a few things you should know about the lodge.
Oh, God.
Actually, the Aqua Lodge is set up pretty similarly to Real Fishing 2. Only this one is a multi-level lodge. Man, our friend really went all out here. I mean, there's a second floor and a basement. There's even a deer trophy on the wall. Now that's class. Everything has a nice, cozy, woodsy aesthetic that I rather like. Like in the previous games, the Aqua Lodge is your hub in between fishing sessions and has 4 sections. Every time you load your game, you start off at your desk, which has your fishing notebook to choose a fishing location, a letter tray to keep all your mail, very nice to look back at previous messages if you're not sure what to do next, childhood memories on the shelf that you unlock as you play through the game, and your friend's diary. Well, gee, I better not read through all 50 pages. Next is the living room, which just serves as a juncture for the upstairs, which has your rods and tackle, as well as a puzzle that comes together as you complete fishing goals. And the basement, which houses 2 fishing tanks for your prize catches, one that's aerated for fish from rivers, and one that's unaerated for fish from still waters. The lodge does feel bigger than the other games, and while there's not a whole lot of new stuff in it, it feels roomy rather than empty. I like it. But listen, as much as it would be great to hang around the Aqua Lodge all day, we're here to fish. Our friend demands it. Your first fishing trip is a tutorial, which was something that was missing in the first game and was just a series of videos in the menu in the second game. This tutorial is interactive, so you can get a handle on the game's mechanics by doing rather than looking everything up in the manual or watching someone else do it. Hey wait! Where's the FMV? That was the whole reason I got into reel fishing in the first place. Well, that and it had the same developers behind Harvest Moon. Well, Reel Fishing 3 was the first game in the series to use 3D rendered graphics, which would stay with the franchise. As much as I love FMV, I admit it hasn't aged well over the past couple of decades. Where it was once innovative, it's now delightfully cheesy. Reel Fishing 3, on the other hand, looks fantastic, and to be honest, I really don't miss the FMV. Part of the reason I love this game is because it simply looks great more than 20 years later. You're not confined to a single screen anymore, you're free to look around in these beautifully rendered places. And you can even see the fish in the water. We didn't even have that in Reel Fishing 2. And it was pretty rough in the first game. Naturally, before casting out, you have to select your tackle. Where the first 2 games relied on you to experiment to find the best tackle for a particular fish, Reel Fishing 3 takes the guesswork out of it. Just select a fish you want to catch and it'll tell you how much your fish will like your selected tackle, represented by the heart symbol, and how strong it is, represented by the shield. Generally speaking, adding to the heart stat will take away from the shield stat, so it's all about striking a balance between the two. You can select bait, lure, or fly fishing by the type of rod you're using, and can customize your rod with different line thicknesses and tackle depending on the kind of fish you want to catch. I actually prefer this tackle menu over Reel Fishing 2's, which can overwhelm players with the number of choices to customize your line. There's still room for nuance here without it being overwhelming. Once you're ready, cast your line into the water and start reeling in, twitching and moving the rod to attract the fish. And once you got one's attention, the view goes underwater to set the hook in the fish's mouth. Now, you can turn off controller vibration in the options menu, but as far as I can tell, the only way to tell if you set the hook correctly is if the controller vibrates. No visual cues, no sound, just the controller. Hope your DualShock Rumble works!
You want to be in the game. You want to be the game.
Time it incorrectly and the fish gets away. But timing it correctly is where it gets tricky. Since each fish is different, you might have to start reeling it in as soon as it bites, or let it carry the tackle for a little while before you start to reel it in. And then it's the struggle. The fish making a run for it, reeling it in when it gets tired, loosening the line when it starts to stretch, keeping a tight line so the fish doesn't get away. Now, coming off of Reel Fishing 2 where the fights felt a lot faster, Reel Fishing 3's fishing felt a bit slow to me, but once I got used to it, I realized it's a lot smoother than its previous entries. It ends up being a much more pleasant experience that still keeps you on your toes. And if you do everything correctly and you're able to pull that fish in, you have a fish. Which you can either release back into the wild or put in your live well for your tanks.
All right there, redhead. Back you go.
Which, like every other Reel Fishing game, is purely an extra thing you can do. I still kept fish and was able to keep them healthy, but damn is it a chore getting some of them to eat. Come on, take the food. Come on, take the food, damn it! Finally. Now to repeat this another 5 times. Weirdly enough, this seems to be an issue for the fish in the unaerated tanks. The river fish don't seem to have a problem eating. The game has 9 fishing spots and a bonus stage, and you can even change fishing spots with the map, though your time is limited and traveling will eat up your set time. Each spot has a goal given by your friend in a letter, which unlocks the next fishing spot, and then an additional challenge once you unlocked all the main fishing spots, usually catching a fish of a certain size or a certain number of fish. Like in Real Fishing 2, Real Fishing 3 also has a calendar system, but it's been simplified into 4 seasons instead of 12 months, and it doesn't affect your fishing sessions other than seeing the change of seasons. As far as I know, the fish will bite no matter what time of the year it is. Although the fish bios will tell you the best season for catching the fish, but I didn't notice much of a difference. Additionally, there's also a weather system, but again, I'm not really sure how much it affects fishing. Not really sure how true that is, but...
Well, there it is.
You start your fishing journey at the pier fishing for bass and the annoyingly common bluegills. You know, the ones the first game called a nuisance but innocent. Our friend will mention a boat that needs repairing, so we're stuck with shore fishing until it's fixed. But still, there are a lot of nice places to fish from shore, like the Yamame mountain stream, which is full of, you guessed it, Yamame trout. I love this area for its tranquility, and it has a nice little feature. It actually changes as you progress the story. Like how the boat will appear at the end of the pier after it's been fixed, the bridge by the Yamame mountain stream will also be fixed once you unlock the fishing spots across it, which have even more fishing spots that I love. There's just something special about fishing deep in the mountains with the Char mountain stream and even the waterfall basin. I love these places, and they're great places to go when I'm having a stressful day, even if virtually. But with the boat finally repaired, it's off to the shallows to fish up a deep body crucian carp, and later on, the woods to catch some big bass. Dat bass. Which eventually, on a foggy and misty day, leads to the Misty Cove. I should have reached the woods by now. It's getting a little foggy around here. I mean, I should be concerned that I'm basically stranded out here by myself, but it's fine, there's plenty of fish in the lake. Hope you all like trout because this is where they like to hang out. My personal favorite is the rainbow trout for that little rainbow stripe on its belly, but the brown trout is your goal in this stage. And it'll put up one hell of a fight, even dragging the line to the edge to shake itself free. Little bat. Now you can catch fish of all sizes in these waters, but the fish so far have seemed a little small. Pfft, a 2-foot brown trout? As if! The real big fishies are at the old bridge. Fish as long as a person is tall. A tall person at that. It's a whole lot of carp with regular carp, grass carp, silver carp, and even the black Chinese roach. Holy shit, they really are huge! Now these are some of the trickiest fish in the game, mainly because setting the hook properly can be quite a challenge. Most of these fish you practically have to start reeling as soon as they bite, or else they get away. Heck, some will straight up steal your bait. Hey, come back here, you little creep! The only fishing spot that isn't in the area around the Aqua Lodge is the Salmon River, which you actually have to fly to Alaska in order to fish in. It's loaded with different kinds of salmon, among other fish, but you can only access it at one point during the main game. It will, however, fully unlock post-game. But alright, enough about the fishing. What about the plot I've been going on about? Well, our friend has been keeping in touch with our fishing progress and telling us all about our favorite childhood fishing spots, as well as dropping pearls of wisdom. But eventually, our dog finds our friend's old diary with a bunch of pages missing, and he'll bring you pages as you progress in the game. Oh sure, we feel funny reading someone else's diary, but we had to in order to keep the pages in order? Yeah, okay.
Sure, Jan.
The pages are collected out of order as you complete different challenges from your friend, but if you read it in order, it's a rather sweet childhood story. Our friend's brother went away to school and he has no one to hang out and go fishing with. You happened to move to town and started a fight with him, but still became best friends. Yep, it's the fishing version of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
They fought in the streets. They became great friends.
We spent our free time fishing at all the locations we visited throughout the game, built a lodge to hang out in, the Aqua Lodge. Actually, the first Aqua Lodge. Because Aqua Lodge sounds classy, doesn't it? And our friend gave us his prize fishing lure that we actually find during the game, as well as some other childhood knickknacks. Oh, it was just his brother's crappy lure. And on one of our fishing trips, we found a huge fish that managed to elude fishers all around town. The monster char, or monschar if you will. And we decided we were gonna catch it.
Captain Ahab has to go hunt his whale.
But things changed when a girl moved to town who happened to have a dog named... Hey!
Wait a minute!
I swear, the dog's the only one with a name in this game. The three of us became friends, and the girl started bringing her dad along on trips, and he would tell us stories about fishing for salmon in Alaska, and how he wants to catch a bighead carp and the legendary giant king salmon of Alaska. He also manages to always outfish the three kids.
That is a fish you are holding.
And I didn't even catch it.
And these are the big boss fights of the game. The bighead carp, the monster char, and the giant salmon. The first two being unlocked after unlocking each fishing spot and completing the challenge for each one. The bighead carp, or Old Bighead, isn't too difficult, at least no more than the other fish around the old bridge. And the monster char, even though it was the one that got away in our youth, wasn't a particularly difficult fight. In fact, the most annoying part was getting the damn thing to take the bait.
Come on, take the bait. You know you want it.
But holy carp, that giant king salmon! First of all, you have to catch each type of fish in each available size in order to get a chance at catching the giant king salmon. But when I finally started fishing for it, I had no idea where I was supposed to be casting because I couldn't see the damn thing. It's so subtle in the water. Look, it was right here. I spent almost the entire fishing session coming up with nothing. And then when it started to get dark, I finally got the line close enough to it and successfully set the hook by chance, because apparently you can set it just by reeling your line in. It's that fast. And then it's a 10-minute fight bringing this thing in. Back and forth, reeling it in, the fighting back, reeling it back in, losing ground, gaining ground, back and forth. You gotta be on your toes. The struggle, it was real, man. But eventually, that's a big fish.
I am the champion. I am the champion.
Now, the story with the three friends concludes after catching the elusive monster char. We became close to the girl, but she got sick and had to move away to be closer to a hospital, while we decided to go to school in the city nearby while... Damn it! I guess this game wouldn't get a very good rating at doesthedogdie.com. Well, at least things worked out for our friend. Damn it! F's in the chat for the Aqua Lodge. Years passed and we ended up marrying the girl, and our friend rebuilt the Aqua Lodge bigger and better than ever, and even found a puppy that looks almost like... Hey!
Wait a minute!
We apparently lost contact with each other for a while, but managed to reconnect, and apparently Wifey's been telling our friend that we're super stressed out at work, so he takes to writing a letter that, hey, wait a minute!
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And upon catching the monster char, our friend congratulates us in fulfilling our childhood dream. In fact, no matter what's been bothering us, we've got the heart to overcome anything, and we're always welcome at the Aqua Lodge to rest. Who knows, maybe all three of us will one day hang out there again. Now, catching the Giant King Salmon, on the other hand, will unlock a bonus stage, the Carp Room. To be honest, I would have liked a nice cutscene, but sure, I'll take an extra fishing spot. Man, this is so weird. In all seriousness though, this level is gorgeous. I love the Japanese aesthetic with the shoji screens, and it's an interesting concept. You're literally fishing in a work of art. The only fish here are red and black carp, and they're both fished up with a butterfly lure. There's no goal, it's just straight up fishing, and they're about as challenging as any other fish in the game. And that was Real Fishing 3. And it might be the best fishing game I've ever played. Sure, it has the same elements as the other fishing games, but there's something special about the atmosphere in this game. The calming, bright music, the peaceful rivers and lakes you can fish in, the cozy and inviting Aqua Lodge, and everything looks great even 20 plus years later. This game makes me wish I could travel to this place for a week and just relax. And sure, we don't see the characters and the story is told through letters and diary entries, but that's okay. It still captures the nostalgia of childhood, a reminder of simpler times, and it creates a deeper experience than the first 2 games in the series. It's a cute story told through little vignettes, and you feel like you get to know these characters even without actually seeing them or knowing their names. Well, except when you see them on the Japanese cover art. Seriously, why didn't we get this? While there are other real fishing games, even one released in 2024, they stopped being numbered after 3, so I'm calling this the conclusion of a trilogy that takes the best of both its predecessors to become a truly hidden gem. Honestly, I wish more games looked like this. Give me a version of River King for the fishing RPG elements with the character design of Harvest Moon Save the Homeland and the scenery and fishing mechanics of Real Fishing 3, and it would have been fantastic. Heck, this is one of those games that I'm sorry it's over because I had a really great time with it and it helped me unwind on particularly stressful days. But this isn't goodbye to Real Fishing 3 for me. I can say for certain that I'll be back at the Aqua Lodge. So what about you? Have you played Real Fishing 3? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Have you played the first 2 games, and how does the third compare? To those who haven't played it, are you interested in it now? And what are some of your favorite fishing games, or games that simply have fishing in it? Please leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Waz Reviews. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends. Until next time.
How they biting?
Small fries. Threw them back.